Hey everyone, welcome back to another powerful step forward. You're making incredible progress on this life-changing journey toward U.S. citizenship. Every new set of questions you master brings you closer to that proud moment when you'll raise your right hand and join the American family as a full citizen. The excitement is building, and so is your confidence. Today, we're diving deep into questions 41 through 50 from the current 128-question USCIS Civics Test, 2025 version. Remember, in your naturalization interview, the officer will ask up to 20 questions, and you only need 12 correct answers to pass. We're not just memorizing, we're understanding the beautiful system that makes America work. Get comfortable, stay energized, and let's keep building that strong foundation together. We'll explore each question with rich explanations first, then wrap up with a fast-paced pop quiz. You've got this. Let's jump right in. Quick review from previous lessons. Before we tackle today's new material, let's warm up with a quick mix from everything we've covered so far. Pause the video and answer out loud. Who does a U.S. Senator represent? Answer: the citizens of their entire state. How long is a term for the president? Answer: 4 years. Why do some states have more representatives than others? Answer: because they have more people / because of population. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? Answer: the president. If both the president and vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? Answer: the Speaker of the House. Fantastic work. These ideas all connect beautifully. If you missed any, revisit the earlier episodes. Everything builds together as we move forward.
Let's talk about one power of the president. One power of the president is signing bills into law or vetoing bills, enforcing laws, serving as commander-in-chief, or appointing federal judges. Imagine the president as the strong captain steering the ship of the nation while working closely with Congress. After lawmakers in the House and Senate carefully debate and pass a bill, something that could affect millions of families, create new jobs, protect the environment, or strengthen national security, it lands on the president's desk. The president has the powerful responsibility to review it and decide. Signing it into law turns that idea into real action that touches everyday American life. The president can also reject the bill if it doesn't align with the country's best interests, though Congress can override that veto with a strong majority. Other key powers include enforcing the laws that are passed, leading the military as commander-in-chief, representing the United States in talks with other countries as chief diplomat, and appointing federal judges who serve for life. These powers give the president real authority, but they are carefully balanced by Congress and the courts, so no one branch becomes too strong. This system, rooted in the Constitution, reflects the founders' wisdom after living under a king. They wanted strong leadership without tyranny. As a future citizen, understanding this helps you see how your vote and voice truly matter in shaping who holds these important responsibilities. So if you are asked the question, name one power of the president, you can now confidently answer: signs bills into law, or any one of the acceptable powers mentioned before. Let's talk about who is the commander-in-chief of the US military. The President of the United States is the commander-in-chief of the US military. Picture the president as the ultimate leader responsible for protecting the entire nation and its people. The founders gave this role to the president because they wanted one person who could act quickly and decisively in times of crisis, while still being accountable to the people through elections. As commander-in-chief, the president directs the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force, making critical decisions about defense strategy, responding to threats, and keeping Americans safe both at home and abroad. This power is enormous, which is why the Constitution balances it carefully. Only Congress can declare war and control the money that funds the military. This elegant system of checks and balances prevents any single leader from having unchecked authority. Throughout history, presidents have used this role during major events like World War II or moments of national security challenges, always with the weight of protecting liberty and democracy. For many immigrants like you, this shows how the military serves to defend the freedoms that attracted your family to these shores. So, if you are asked the question, who is Commander-in-Chief of the US military, you can now confidently answer the President of the United States.
Let's talk about who signs bills to become laws. The President of the United States signs bills to become laws. Think of the legislative process like a team effort where Congress writes the playbook, but the President gives the final stamp of approval that makes it official. After representatives and senators debate, amend, and vote on a bill, whether it's about improving healthcare, creating better job opportunities, protecting the environment, or supporting new immigrants, it travels to the White House. The President carefully reviews it, and if in agreement, signs it, turning the bill into a law that every American must follow. This signing ceremony is often a proud public moment that shows government in action. If the President disagrees, a veto can send it back for more work. This step ensures that new laws have broad support and thoughtful consideration from both elected branches. It's a beautiful example of how power is shared in America so that laws truly reflect the will and needs of the people. So, if you are asked the question, who signs bills to become laws? You can now confidently answer, the President of the United States. Let's talk about who vetoes bills. The President of the United States vetoes bills. The veto power is like a careful safety check in the lawmaking process. When Congress passes a bill the President believes is not good for the country, perhaps it spends too much money, weakens national security, or doesn't protect important rights, the President can refuse to sign it and send it back with objections. This action is called a veto. Congress can still override the veto if 2/3 of both the House and Senate agree, showing how power is balanced. The founders included this tool because they wanted the President to act as a thoughtful guardian against hasty or unfair laws, while still giving lawmakers a strong voice. Throughout American history, vetoes have shaped important debates and forced better compromises. This process protects everyone by making sure laws are strong, fair, and well considered. So, if you are asked the question, who vetoes bills? You can now confidently answer, the President of the United States.
Let's talk about who appoints federal judges. The President of the United States appoints federal judges. Federal judges are the guardians of justice, who interpret the Constitution and laws every single day in courts across the country. The President has the important responsibility of choosing these judges, including the powerful justices of the Supreme Court, when positions become open. The President looks for experienced, fair-minded individuals who will uphold the rule of law. Once chosen, the Senate must review and confirm the appointment with a vote. This shared power ensures careful selection. Judges serve for life so they can make decisions based on the law, not political pressure. This system has protected rights, resolved disputes, and guided the nation through its most challenging moments. As a new citizen, you'll benefit from this independent judiciary that treats everyone equally under the law. So if you are asked the question, who appoints federal judges? You can now confidently answer, the President of the United States. Let's talk about one part of the executive branch. One part of the executive branch is the President, or the Cabinet, or federal departments and agencies. The executive branch is like the engine that puts laws into action and runs the day-to-day business of government. At its heart is the President, who leads everything. Supporting the President is the Cabinet, a team of advisors heading major departments like State, Treasury, Defense, and Homeland Security. Then there are hundreds of federal agencies and departments that handle everything from protecting our borders and delivering social security to managing national parks and ensuring food safety. This huge but organised structure helps the President enforce laws, manage crises, and serve the American people effectively. It's a massive team effort that keeps the country moving forward every day. So, if you are asked the question, the executive branch has many parts. Name one. You can now confidently answer the President, or Cabinet, or federal departments and agencies.
Let's talk about what the President's Cabinet does. The President's Cabinet advises the President. The Cabinet is like a trusted council of experts surrounding the President, each bringing deep knowledge from their specific area of government. When major decisions need to be made on the economy, national security, education, healthcare, or immigration, the President turns to these secretaries and administrators for honest advice and information. They meet regularly at the White House, share insights, and help shape policies that affect millions. This tradition goes back to George Washington's time and remains vital today. The Cabinet helps ensure the President has the best possible guidance while still making the final calls. It's another example of smart teamwork built into American government. So, if you are asked the question, what does the President's Cabinet do? You can now confidently answer, advises the President of the United States. Let's talk about two cabinet-level positions. Two cabinet-level positions are Secretary of State and Attorney General, or any two from the official list. The cabinet includes top leaders who head major departments and play crucial roles in running the country. For example, the Secretary of State helps manage relationships with other nations and promotes American interests abroad. Vital work that affects trade, security, and global cooperation. The Attorney General leads the Department of Justice, upholding the rule of law, protecting civil rights, and ensuring justice is fair for everyone. Other important roles include Secretary of the Treasury, managing the economy, Secretary of Homeland Security, protecting our borders and safety, and many more. These positions require incredible skill and dedication because their decisions touch the daily lives of all Americans, including new immigrants building their futures here. So, if you are asked the question, what are two cabinet-level positions? You can now confidently answer, Secretary of State and Attorney General, or any two acceptable ones.
Let's talk about why the Electoral College is important. The Electoral College is important because it decides who is elected president, and it provides a compromise between popular election and congressional selection. Picture this. It's election night 2024. Millions of Americans, including many brand new citizens just like you, head to the polls excited to vote for president. When all the votes are counted nationwide, Donald Trump receives about 77.3 million votes, and Kamala Harris receives about 75 million. Trump wins the popular vote, but the real decision isn't made by counting every single vote across the entire country. Instead, it's decided by the Electoral College. Here's how it actually works in real life. Every state is given a certain number of points, called electoral votes. These are based on the state's population from the census plus its 2 senators. Big states like California get 54 electoral votes, medium states like Pennsylvania get 19, smaller states like Wyoming get just 3. There are 538 electoral votes in total. Most states use a winner-take-all system. If a candidate gets the most votes from the people in that state, even by a small margin, they win all of that state's electoral votes. None for the other candidate. On election night, Trump won enough key states, including the swing states like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, and others, to reach 312 electoral votes. Harris had 226. To become president, you need at least 270 electoral votes. That's the magic number. The founders created this system as a smart compromise. They didn't want the president chosen only by Congress in a back room. They also didn't want a few huge cities on the coasts to completely control the outcome every time. The Electoral College forces candidates to campaign and listen to voters in big states, small states, cities, suburbs, and rural areas all across America. As someone new to this country, this is powerful. Your vote in your state actually matters in a very real way. It helps decide which points your state contributes, and together all the states choose the leader of the nation. So if you are asked the question, why is the Electoral College important? You can now confidently answer, it decides who is elected president, or it provides a compromise between popular election and congressional selection.
Let's talk about one part of the judicial branch. One part of the judicial branch is the Supreme Court, or federal courts. The judicial branch is like the wise, independent referee of the entire American system, making sure everyone plays by the rules written in the Constitution. Most cases begin in the lower federal courts spread across the country. For example, if someone believes their rights were violated, the case starts in a district court. If either side loses, they can appeal to a circuit court. only the most important cases, those involving major constitutional questions, federal law, or conflicts between states, such as disputes over shared rivers, borders, or water rights, might reach the Supreme Court. It is completely up to the Supreme Court whether they will hear a case. They receive thousands of requests every year, but accept only about 100 to 150. They decide by issuing a writ of certiorari. If the court chooses not to hear the case, the decision of the lower court stands as final. A powerful real-life example is Brown versus Board of Education. The case started in a Kansas district court, was appealed, and eventually reached the Supreme Court. In 1954, the 9 justices ruled that segregated schools were unconstitutional, a decision that changed America forever. With its 9 justices serving for life, the Supreme Court is the final protector of the Constitution. Its rulings apply to the entire country, and no one, not even the President or Congress, can overturn them. So, if you are asked the question, what is one part of the judicial branch? You can now confidently answer the Supreme Court, or federal courts.
Rome, 20,000 spectators, 1 epic battle, 2 warriors, 1 destiny. But before they can fight for glory, they must face the real challenge, getting their visa approved.
If you want to enter, show me your visa.
They should have went to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram. They are very good.
Yes, I've heard the same. They handled my visa in no time.
They should have went to the law offices of Chris M. Ingram. Off to the Lions pit.
Come with me, boys. It's dinner time.
Because even legends need the offices of Chris M. Ingram.
Are you looking for a visa? Why don't you get your free consultation on the Breakthrough website? We're with you every step of the way.
You've just gained a much richer understanding of the executive and judicial branches. The why behind these powers makes them so much easier to remember. Keep connecting these ideas as we move forward. Now let's test your knowledge with the pop quiz. Pop quiz rapid fire style with no explanations. 41. Name one power of the president. The correct answer is signs bills into law or vetoes bills, enforces laws, commander-in-chief, appoints federal judges. 42. Who is commander-in-chief of the U.S. military? The correct answer is the President of the United States. 43. Who signs bills to become laws? The correct answer is the President of the United States. 44. Who vetoes bills? The correct answer is the President of the United States. 45. Who appoints federal judges? The correct answer is the President of the United States.
46. The executive branch has many parts. Name one. The correct answer is the President or Cabinet or federal departments and agencies. 47. What does the President's Cabinet do? The correct answer is advises the President. 48. What are 2 cabinet-level positions? The correct answer is Secretary of State and Attorney General, or any two. 49. Why is the Electoral College important? The correct answer is it decides who is elected president or provides a compromise. 50. What is one part of the judicial branch? The correct answer is the Supreme Court or federal courts.
You've now completed questions 41 through 50 and built even stronger knowledge of how the executive and judicial branches work together with Congress. Keep practicing these answers out loud. Repetition and understanding will make test day feel easy and exciting. You're getting closer every single day. Stay motivated. Keep studying the full 128 questions, and I'll see you in the next lesson where we continue this amazing journey. You've got this. Keep believing in yourself. Are you ready to move from applicant to citizen? Your journey starts right now. Check the next video on the series and let's get those 12 correct answers locked in.